Good morning and welcome to today's morning message. These are readings that I channel for myself and I share publicly in case we are currently on the same wavelength and whatever I need is also what you need. And if anything in this video resonates with you, we are probably vibrating on the same frequency, which is pretty cool. I'm very excited to help you. So let me explain real quick how this works. Every morning, the first thing I do is I eat breakfast, right? And then I do my basic hygiene. And then I sit down at this desk and I write a question down on a piece of paper that I need answered for myself. And then I pull tarot cards to get that answer. And I answer it for myself on a piece of paper like this, right? And then I will go into medium.com and I will write out a full length, like 2,000 word answer for you in case you need it. And then I share it. And I recently had the idea to turn it into videos because one thing that I really love to do is I love to listen to podcasts and consciously rewire my subconscious mind, which is so simple to do if you know how. Basically, you need to listen to something that really resonates with you and really feels true for the person that you want to be while engaging in some sort of bilateral movement. My favorite thing to do recently is to color in my little coloring book, which is across the room, so I can't show you. Or you can go on a walk, you can draw if you're someone who can draw. I personally, I'm a writer, I can't draw. That's not a gift I was given. But just listen to this while engaging in some sort of movement and really let it open your subconscious mind and like really get in there. Don't pay too much conscious attention to what you're listening. Just kind of listen to it passively. And you'll be surprised at how quickly that doing this will be able to change your mind about everything, about who you are, about where you're going, about what you're doing. It's incredible. So, and of course, if anything here resonates with you and you would like to show your thanks, the best thing you can do, and it's completely free, is like, leave a comment, subscribe, because doing so tricks the platform into paying me a little bit of money. And it helps me understand what is genuinely helping you so that I can do more of that, because that is my goal here. There was one more thing. Oh, and it also helps me grow. Because every time you engage with my video, YouTube will push it a little bit more to other people who might also need to hear it. So if you like anything that I'm about to say, just engage with this video in whatever way feels comfortable for you. I know if you are on the same vibe as me, you probably have some visibility wounds and you're not very comfortable putting your name out there. So just leave a like. No one will know that you like the video. But okay. So if you're going to watch this, I am reading the reading that I wrote. So I will not be looking at the camera, I'll be looking at my computer, which is like right here. Hopefully, if you have followed my advice, you won't be looking at me pretty much at all. You'll be doing something else. Excellent. Anyways, I think I've said everything I need to say. Let's get into it. So today's question is, what are you afraid of? And I know that that is an excellent question, right? I've found that my fear spends a very long time in my subconscious mind, and as soon as it rises up to the top, I start to see it everywhere. It's easy for that process to make me feel like I'm drowning or as if I've suddenly become some kind of coward, even if I know that that's not true, right? So fear has become a very big word in my recent life. Like, why don't I have the things that I want for myself? 10 out of 10 times, the answer in some way comes back to fear. So today I wanted to explore this theme a little bit more in depth, and I'll be honest, I pulled this reading for me, but I'm sharing it for you. I'm gonna drink a little bit of water. This could be a long one. I really hope you can't hear me swallowing. That's always been a weird insecurity of mine, that I swallow way too loud. Oh well. So our cards today are the Three of Wands, the Seven of Wands reversed, the Nine of Wands reversed, the Two of Wands reversed, and the Tower reversed. If that means nothing to you, that's completely fine. You don't need to understand. Let's go through it. In one sentence, what all of these cards are saying to me is that you're scared of full exposure. So let's go into the card by card breakdown. Your first card, the Three of Wands. This is your principal energy, so the most dominant answer to the question. You've internally outgrown a version of life that you're still living in. And the reality that you're experiencing has yet to catch up to all the internal movement you have been and still are going through. It's like you've grown up 3 years in your head over the course of a few months, but you still live in the same body, living the same life you had before all of this growth. And that's frustrating. Obviously, who wouldn't find that frustrating? You're ambitious, like really ambitious. If you were 100% honest with the people you love about exactly what you want, you're scared they would think you were crazy. You're that level of ambitious. And you're probably not all that wrong either. You've got a big fat vision of what your life could become over the next short while, and you're beginning to foam at the mouth at the idea of setting down the path to knock all this dominoes down and butterfly effect your way into all your dreams. Oh, but wait, what's this I see? You don't like uncertainty. You want the map from here to there to be laid out in concrete and detailed in gold. You want to know every single step you might have to take before you even take the first one. And you want to minimize all risk. And in doing so, you're spending forever packing your backpack instead of just hitting the road. I have to open a window. I'm so sorry. I'm back. Okay, I don't know about you, but whenever I pack for a trip, I always pack 3 times more underwear than what I actually need, which is to say, I plan for the risk that I might shit myself every single day, even though I haven't shit myself in years. So, why do I do that? Like, is that level of risk management necessary? And are the pitfalls that you're trying to avoid really all that likely? Is future you as much of a fucking idiot as you're assuming them to be? Probably not. It's definitely not, right? Uncertainty is difficult for you. And that's the number one pain point that you're brushing up against right now. You don't want to accept that you don't know, that you can't know, that you're scared, that life isn't as black and white as you wish it was, that you can't control the plot twist or predict the ending. All you can do is act. And that's the one thing you control. And you, little control freak that you are unwilling to do that. You'd rather sit there in the delusion that if you think enough, plan enough, prepare enough, everything will go to plan and you'll never have to think on your toes or break down crying in your bathroom at midnight ever again. And I know that that sounds ridiculous hearing it, but you also know that that is something that you have subconsciously been thinking. You're so obsessed with self-protection that you're attempting to avoid the full range of the human experience. Life is only fun if it goes exactly to plan. When has anything ever been fun if you've had complete control over the experience? Like, have you ever played a board game with your friends and tried to control what they do? Like, oh, you can't play the yellow card. You have to play the black card. Put the yellow card back in your hand and play the black card. Why? How is that fun? Right? Soon everyone's nervously looking around and like second guessing everything that they do and like exchanging weird looks that you know are about you, but you don't quite understand. Isn't that fun for you? And let me ask you, like, the best moments that you've ever lived in your life, how much did you predict would happen that actually happened? Like how you'd feel in those moments or what other people would do? What is your rate of accuracy in those predictions? If you're anything like me, is like a big fat fucking zero. All of your overthinking and aversion to uncertainty has never sown any fruit. All it has ever done is stress you out even more, and you know that you're ready for more. So why are you still finding places to shove yet another set of underwear into your luggage? Give it a rest. Put the backpack on, hit the road, and trust that future you isn't an idiot who shits themselves 3 times a day. And even if they do, trust that they know how to wipe their own ass and figure it out. Drink a little bit of water. I really hope my swallowing isn't coming up. Maybe if it is, I'm going to leave it because otherwise I would be a hypocrite, right? Fuck it, this is me. I swallow loud. Sorry. Our next card is the Seven of Wands reversed. So we've established that you're ready to leave behind one version of your life and set out building the next because you've mentally outgrown the person you were just a few months ago. Excellent. Great. I'm close. So then why are you still defending this old life? Why? You're exhausting yourself. Your loyalties are split. You want a new life, but still you shore up the fortress against any attacks this reinvention brings you. A leak springs up in the boat and you rush to feel it. You lose a cornerstone of this old life and cry yourself sick over it. You are getting what you want. Do you think change is a walk in the park? No. You can only receive with empty hands. So if you're clinging to one thing and asking for the next, why are you so damn surprised that you're not receiving it? You don't have space to receive. You're spending all your time trying to make sure the old life doesn't crumble before your eyes. Let it crumble. You want to build a new house on the same land, yet you refuse to bring in the bulldozers, and even worse, you throw money into whatever structural problem you find. What are you doing? Do you want the old house, or do you want the new one? And if you want the new one, why are you investing your time, energy, and emotion into the old one? Let it go. You're sending some mixed signals out into the universe, and that's why you're not getting what you want. Okay, take a breath. I got a little kid away there. You spent a long time trying to micromanage the way other people see you, pre-rejecting yourself before you give others the chance to, expecting criticism in every single situation that you enter, and trying to control the depth at which other people perceive you. I get why you're clicking, right? As I said, I wrote this for me too. It's hard to let that level of effort go, and it's hard to believe that that level of effort was never necessary. You spent so much time trying to defend yourself, and it feels now as if you accept a new way of being, you're admitting that the old way of being was wrong, which means that all the nasty shit that people said to you was justified. There's a saying in Portuguese, I live in Brazil, there's a saying in Portuguese, uma coisa, outra coisa, outra coisa, which is to say, one thing is one thing and another thing is another thing. You can decide you no longer wish to be the way that you were without this immediately justifying any nastiness you received along the way. And also, it's worth saying, no one cares nearly as much as you think they do. Even if they happen to notice that you're no longer the way that they once criticized, at worst, all this will become is a nasty text about you in their group chat. And I hate to break it to you, but people are already talking about you. So who cares if you give them something new to talk about? At least you're the subject of the hate instead of the person infecting themselves with said hate. One last thing on this card. Your nervous system is exhausted. This level of mental chess against the world at large isn't sustainable and should be the first thing to go. Who cares if they don't like you? Who cares what they might say? Does it really matter? Are their words, their opinions, stronger than the entirety of you? Is their dislike strong enough to end you? No, it's just mildly uncomfortable to think about. Stop blowing it up to be anything more than that. It's uncomfortable. That's fine. The discomfort will pass. Stop exhausting yourself because you're scared of those few little seconds of discomfort. You are stronger than that. You know that you are. So let it go. Next, we have the Nine of Wands and the Two of Swords. No, the Nine of Wands reversed and the Two of Swords reversed. And I'm putting these two cards together because they have pretty similar messages. It goes a little something like this. You fought the battle, won the war, but are still scared of facing life again. However, an inconvenient truth is dawning on you. Your avoidance is no longer working. Your self-protection is nearing a breaking point. You're reaching that I can't fucking live like this anymore moment. And for a second, you'll need to like pull out your hair and like beat on the steering wheel and just like throw a fit, right? Throw a fucking fit, who cares? But afterwards, you'll be ready for the transformation to really start to take place. You are chronically, overly self protective, and that is the number one thing holding you back from really moving into the next chapter of your life. You protect who you used to be, you protect who you are, and you protect the potential people you could become. You're just all day long protecting, 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 and you can't take it anymore. The resistance to life is collapsing because it's unsustainable. Every day, this realization sinks in just a little bit more. Life is exactly what it is, regardless of all the mental energy you put into trying to interpret it differently. You can spend all day doing the mental gymnastics you need to feel like you have. You can spend all day doing the mental gymnastics you feel like you need to do in order to feel like you have some ounce of control over what's happening. But at the end of the day, you feel most in control when you paradoxically release all control. The only thing you can control is the way you interpret what happens to you. Constantly searching for some threat to protect yourself from means interpreting threats when you could interpret blessings. And you want to know the real kicker of all of this? You already know everything I just said. Maybe you needed to hear it again, but you already know. You were refusing to let that knowing transform into the wisdom that governs your life, because seeing clearly means committing to taking action, and you're scared that taking action means inviting in more uncertainty, more threat, and more places for you to fuck up and act against your morals, your knowledge, and the expectation that you hold yourself to rigorously. It's easier to pretend to be blind than to accept the responsibility of sight. Some water. Next, we have the Tower reversed. And with this, we get to the core of everything. The fears you're dealing with are the deepest fears any human can face. And you're disappointed that you're just as weak, fearful, and susceptible as all of the rest of us are, and that no, you're not any worse and not any better than anybody else. You're just as vulnerable to the human question as we are. You're scared to lose your sense of who you are, and you're scared to let go of your story of who you are, where you've been, where you're going. You're scared of wearing your heart on your sleeve and letting go of that stoic performance that keeps you from taking risks. You're scared to watch all of these wonderful self-protective illusions you've built crumble down around you. You're scared of facing the fact that you, too, are a human. You're not a victim. You're not especially broken. You're not special. And thousands of other people have already lived the exact story arc that you're living. You are human. And because of that humanity, you're allowed to try again. You are allowed to fall down. You are encouraged to get back up. It's normal to watch the house burn to the ground and have to rebuild from scratch. It's poetic justice that our worst hurts give birth to our biggest triumphs. If you let it, the grief of watching this old life disappear can be the fuel to build a new life that actually meets you where you're at internally. And day by day, it becomes increasingly clear that this transformation you've been chaotically flirting with is unavoidable. So this reading has a bonus question, which is, why are you so scared? Because insight without compassion is nothing, worthless. For this question, we have Judgment, the Eight of Wands reversed, and the Five of Cups. So as we've established very thoroughly here, you know you're meant to up level right now. but you're scared of being evaluated and found lacking. And you're scared to show the world your vulnerable underbelly and confess out loud that you're just as weak and scared as the rest of us pretend not to be. And you're scared that if you speak your truth, you will be irretrievably condemned. To you, authenticity means being rejected, shamed, and scrutinized, and you think that those people who manage to bare their hearts in public and receive overwhelming success are just lucky. They're other people, and you're just little old you, excluded from the group forever. But you're not. And you know that you're not. You're a human, just like the rest of us, and for better or for worse. And here, right now, it is for the better. You are living the same themes as hundreds of thousands of other people out there. And if you're able to put expression to the depths of your experience, you'll have created art that makes all of those hundreds of thousands of people feel profoundly seen, understood, and accepted and loved. Isn't that incredible? You have within you the seed that'll give birth to greater love for thousands of others. And all you have to do is hone the exact process of effective self-expression. Basically, is what you're creating raw enough, real enough, risky enough? And if not, you need to get your ass back to the drawing board. Yes, people will have something to say about what you do. Some people won't understand you, and some people, it will seem like their life's mission is to do whatever they can to make you the villain. That's not the important part. What about the hundreds of thousands of people that need your vulnerability, that take strength and that red heart bleeding on your sleeve for the entire world to see? Are you really going to let the potential hate prevent you from blessing those people that you are best equipped to help? And is there any greater blessing than the opportunity to bless other people? So what does it matter if those that you were never meant to help misunderstand you? It's better they do than the people that you're trying to help. Am I right? I want a break. So hydrated in this video. Next, we have the Eight of Wands reversed. Please, 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 please stop holding yourself back. Cry, make the art, post as many times as you want, repeat yourself until you're hoarse in the throat. Stop using the potential backlash you're imagining as a reason enough for you to swallow all of the gifts you've been blessed with. You think you're protecting yourself from criticism because you assume you're not strong enough to survive being disliked, and that's not true. Both literally and in the thought itself, you're not protecting yourself, you're censoring yourself. You stop yourself mid-expression, you over-edit everything you do. You over-edit everything you do, make, send, create. You overthink every possible timeline that might spring up from you being who you are, and right when the world starts to meet your momentum for what it is, you shrink, hide, and run. You do not accept yourself. You don't think your way of expressing is enough. The things that you like aren't good enough. The way that you do something isn't worth millions of dollars. That you are unlike the rest of us and cursed with a heart that wishes to express itself in countless ways that are just not good enough. So you dilute yourself. You avoid the moment you must step on the stage and display for us the gifts that God has blessed you with, and you lurk on the edges of any party that you're in because you don't think you're interesting, educated, or developed enough to step into the main circle. You think the world is full of people desperate to hate you, so you don't even give them the chance to prove themselves harmless at worst and loving at best. Your idea of what humanity is dark and twisted and lacks compassion. You assume the rest of us are shallow beasts that loom over you, and we're not. We just want to love as much as possible, as freely as we can. And sure, we're all at our own place in the journey of unlearning our illusions, but at the core of you, of me, of all of us, is the desire to love abundantly and unconditionally. You are just like the rest of us. And as much as you wish to have the courage to love all that is freely, the rest of us wish the same. We want the chance to love you. If you'd open yourself to it, loving you would be much more of a blessing to the people around you than you might imagine it to be. The world needs you exactly as you are, as loud as you can possibly be. Your heart comes from the same source as the rest of us. Your courage to let your heart lead gives all of us the permission to do the same. What better quest might exist for you? There isn't one. That is your purpose, applied to whatever specific way your heart asks you to apply it. Our final card is the Five of Cups. And this is the rawest part of all of this behavior. Sometime in your past, at a time that was perhaps chronologically long ago, but psychologically yesterday, wearing your heart on your sleeve was a disaster. The more you tried to open yourself, the more the world shrank away from you. And the more you tried to trust the process, the more of a hellscape you slid into. And the more you allowed yourself to be seen, the more ridiculed you felt. And the more you let yourself hope, the further you had to fall when the mirage disappeared. And maybe this is just one chapter of your life, and maybe it's a lifelong pattern that keeps repeating itself in cycles. And every single time it comes back a little bit worse. And this moment that is especially painful for you is when it finally boiled over into a breaking point. This moment in time, no matter how long ago it was, according to clock time, is still psychologically alive. You haven't forgiven the key players, nor yourself, or the universe for asking you to go through all of that. And even if you can see via hindsight how necessary all of that was, you still remember the grief. And you think forgiveness needs to be some logical light bulb moment, and it won't be. Acceptance is you, alone, in a dark room. It happened, and it hurt like hell, and you survived. The situation you're in now has nothing to do with where you once were, and maybe this might hurt to hear, but that situation happening has a lot to do with that contrast. Can't you see that life is different now? That the energy around you is completely different, that life is asking you to move forward, not as a way to purify you from illusion, but to raise you into actualization. The ask that you're feeling is made in love. It is not an attempt to humble arrogance. The world needs you right now, exactly as you are, in all of the parts that you think, no, in all of the parts of you that are not yet ready, will ready themselves on the path. Maybe you shit your pants. But on your quest to seek out clean underwear, you'll find something you couldn't have continued without. So stop shoving extra underwear into your bag. You have everything you need to start. And whatever need arises, the path will provide for. All you need to do is start. And wouldn't it be so wonderful to be a beginner again? To explore, to be curious, to let go of the pressure of being the expert and relax down into knowing that you know nothing, and letting that be a reason to play and find out. Isn't that exactly what you need right now. That's all I have for you today. I will be back on Monday with another one. How am I going to say this? I did not plan out the outro. If you want to follow me, I am at Done Circling on just about every single social media platform except TikTok at this point in time. I'm doing my best to put myself out there and get over my fear of being seen, my fear of being misunderstood, all of that wonderful stuff. And honestly, I posted this reading without feeling ready. But hey, the urge hit, I had the time, and here we are. So I hope you have a great day. If anything here resonated for you, leave me a comment. You can tell me exactly what it is. You can leave just a red heart emoji if you don't feel like being seen. You can leave a like. Anything you do to engage with this video is helpful for me. It's good feedback. It's good for the algorithm, and it will help the website pay me a little bit. Yeah. Have a great day. I'm sending you lots of love and happiness, and I'm so grateful that you let me help you today. Bye-bye.